and teach you guys. We'll go through the maths real quick just so that you guys are clear. So for maths, there were two main topics that I gave you guys for homework. It was mainly algebra and time. Okay. So the first question that we have is, the train question, right? It's about Alfie and Brian. So Alfie and Brian are these two snails, and obviously they start going towards each other. So it's like the train question. They're going towards each other. Alfie sliding at 8 millimeters per minute. Brian slides at 12 millimeters per minute. How many minutes will these snails meet? So let's have a look. Again, in this case, 1 meter, you want to convert that into centimeters. So this is 100 centimeters, all right? Convert everything to the same unit, and make sure that you do that at the very beginning. Likewise with this, we know that Alfie and Brian are both traveling combined at a speed of 8 plus 12, which is 20 millimeters per minute, which is 2 centimeters per minute. Does that make sense? So in other words, every minute they're traveling 2 centimeters. In total, they need to travel 100, right? So what we need to do here is just go 100 divided by 2. What does that equal? 50 minutes. Does that make sense, guys? It's just 50 minutes. Done. How much further than Alfie will Brian have moved? You just need to go 8, 12. The difference is 4. So 4 times 50 equals 200 millimeters, which is basically going to be equal to 20 centimeters. Okay, everybody got that? And you guys can have a look at the answers as well. The work solutions are all there for you guys to look at. Cool, let's move on. I think the next question that we're going to do is going to be, we'll go through question number 4, okay? Because this is a little bit of algebra. Let me explain. What is the value of the letters A, B, and C? So in this question, we just need to convert everything into algebra, right? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to figure out C, because we have 3 C's in a row. So 3 C's in the column. So C plus C plus C becomes 39. C becomes 13. Then you want to look for where we have 2 in a row. So in this case, we have 13 plus 13, which becomes 26. A becomes 5. And so we keep on figuring out more and more and more, and we keep on putting them in. So we have A becomes 5, and then B just becomes 20, and that's your answer. Okay, next one. This is a pretty easy pattern. Again, you need to work in pairs. So starting from 100, we subtract 99, then add 98, then whatever. And we carry forth until we get to the number 1. What you should have done immediately is you should have bracketed all of this out. So it goes in pairs, right? 199, whatever, right? And the other thing that you should notice is we go in even and then odd, even, and then odd, even, odd, even, odd, even, odd. And so we know that this is just 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus even the last one is just 1. How many pairs do we have? We have 50 pairs. And so 50 pairs multiplied by 1 just becomes 50. Really easy. Okay. The next one, we have another kind of pattern question. Should be rather easy. How many dots will surround the diagram with 20 squares? So if we have 20 squares, you would have 20 on the top, 20 on the bottom, and then 1, 1, right? So it'd just be 42. How many in 148 dots? Again, try to find a way to turn this into a algebraic equation. Let me show you guys how to do that. So let's say we have this, right? Let's call the number of squares, right, x. And so immediately you would have the number of squares is just x, and then there would be 2 multiplied by x, because you have 1 here and you have 1 here, right? So 2 multiplied by x plus the 2 at the side, right? So 1, 2. So that would be the expression that you would make for the number of dots, right? So 2x plus 2 is the number of dots. Is that clear? So 2x plus 2 equals 148 minus 2, we end up getting 2x equals 146, and then x equals 73. There we go. Very easy. Right, guys? Okay, diagram below shows pattern number 4 and part of pattern number 5. Complete the pattern number 5. You just continue it, right? So we know that there's just one more here and then here. Boom. Okay. We don't need to go through any of that. Let's go into question number 10. So this is quite similar. We also have the same kind of number patterns going on. And we might actually go through question number 9 as well. So the later pattern has 36 gray tiles. How many white tiles does it have? Again, in terms of gray tiles, we know that the gray tiles is a square, and we know that the white tiles is just, like a bigger square by 2, right? So here we have 3 along the length, the white is just going to be 5. So if the gray is 6, then the white is just going to be 8, all right? Then you just add it by 2. Then what we want to do is we want to figure out the big thing minus the little thing, right? Because that's all gray and the rest of it is white. So we go 64, 8 times 8 is 64 minus 36 becomes 28. Right, guys? Comment down below if you guys understand that. So it shouldn't be too hard. Should be able to figure it out. That's how we do it. So 28. The other way that you could have done it is you could have just added it, right? So you could have just thought, hey, wait a second. We have 3 here, so we have 5. So we add 2 to 3. That works as well. So you can have 8 along the top, 8 along the bottom, and then you have 6, 6. Oh, sorry. You have 6, 6. So 8 plus 8 is just 16, plus 12 becomes 28. That's it. Done. Let's go to the next one. So question number. You have a lot of these questions which are very much similar. If you do question number 13, you just go backwards. You guys should already know how to do that. So add a 10, you minus 10, that becomes 42. Double, you just divide by 2, right? So you have 42 divided by 2, we end up getting 21. Okay, so 21, double it, 42, add 10, 52. There we go. A man is 30 years older than his youngest son. In 17 years, he'll be twice the age of his son. To write this out in algebraic terms is rather complex, but let me show you guys how to do it. So let's say, for example, that the youngest son right now is x. That means his dad is x plus 30. In 17 years, he'll be twice his son's age. So in other words, his son will be x plus 17 in 17 years. And we also know that he'll be twice his son's age, right? So in other words, x plus 30 plus 17 is going to be equal to 2 multiplied by x plus 17. How did we figure that out? Well, again, his son's age at 17 years is going to be x plus 17, right? Twice his son's age at 17 years is going to be 2 times x plus 17 in brackets. And then we know that originally his age was x plus 30, so we can write that out here. Now what we need to do is we expand the brackets. We end up getting 2x plus 34, right? Because 2 times 17 is 34, which equals x plus 47, which equals, if you subtract x from each side, subtract x, we end up getting x on the left-hand side. So x equals, and then you go minus 34, and then you end up getting 13. Right, so x just equals 13 years. If you wanted to use guess and check, you can definitely do that as well. So don't just think that, hey, you know what, I'm going to use this. You can also use the process of guess and check as well. Okay? X is not equal to 47. So if you wrote x equals 47, you got that wrong. X is equal to 13.